Great decorating is all about the details, including a gorgeous textured set of coasters. How we love a coaster. Functional. And why not be beautiful? Quince has a gorgeous set of woven rattan coasters in 3 terrific colors with their own little holder that you're going to absolutely love. And if you haven't visited quince.com/DTT yet, get on over there. It's everyday elevated living without the markup. From crisp 100% linen bedding and soft organic cotton towels to airy curtains and premium kitchen tools designed for everyday use. And the best part? Like Quince's clothing, their home goods are half the cost of similar brands. By partnering with top artisans, Quince cuts out the cost of the middleman and passes the savings on to us. And Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices and premium fabrics and finishes. Elevate your space with home essentials from Quince. Go to quince.com/DTT for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's Quince, QUINCE.com/DTT to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/DTT. It's Christmas time and the decorating is easy. Hey everybody, I'm Kelly Wilkniss here with Anita Joyce, and this is Decorating Tips and Tricks. Today we're talking about easing into Christmas and some easy and beautiful Christmas decor that you might want to add, and a lot of great inspiration and ideas for the upcoming holiday season. And I have to tell you, I'm slightly grossed out that Christmas has been plastered all over everywhere and on display before Halloween this year. I really had to close my eyes a few times when I went into even my local hardware store. My local Ace was bedecked and bedazzled as if we were in a winter wonderland and it was December, 20th, and it was maybe October 12th. Ew.
I'm with you. I don't really want to see it too early. It is fun for me to shop with Evie during the Christmas season to see all the Christmas decor and the shops all decorated. But to go see that mid-October, I'm not ready for that.
Yeah, but you'll be listening to this when it comes out on December 6th, which is completely an appropriate time to be getting ready for Christmas. And we spent some time scouring the universe on the internet to find beautiful things for you if you're in the market to add something this year. I focused on smaller online shops. So even though you're maybe not shopping, air quotes, locally, you're shopping small. So that's great. And Anita has found some other wonderful items from a place that most of you can get to maybe on foot or in the car or definitely online.
Well, what I focused on were unique things that I'm not seeing everywhere. A lot of them are from one particular store, which we'll share that with you in a minute.
Yeah, and a one-stop shop is certainly easy, and that's part of what we're trying to do today, too. We have talked to you in the past about the idea that Christmas should not be a sprint. It should not be a race to the finish. It should not be a stress fest for you. When you have littler kids and you're doing all the surprising and the Santaing and all that, there can be a lot more pressure at Christmas time. Even if you're in that phase of life, try to remember that this is a joyful season, whatever your religious take on it. And maybe you don't even celebrate Christmas, but you just like decorating, or maybe you're celebrating Hanukkah or another holiday. And none of it should be stressful. You should try to find the joy in the spirit of the season, of course. And I know we're all looking for that, but sometimes the overwhelm of the list and what you need to do and the food and the decor and making it perfect and more than perfect, it doesn't have to be perfect. Maybe take some stuff off your list if you're feeling overwhelmed, because there's nothing joyful about feeling overwhelmed. So with that caveat, that, let's talk about decorating for Christmas. And you may want to listen to our Christmas light, a little play on the Christmas light theme episode. We'll link that in the show notes. So it's just not sparkly lights. You can do it lighter and do it beautifully. So that might be a help for anyone, but particularly if you're feeling like it's a lot this year.
Quality over quantity any day. That is our mantra with any kind of decorating, really. But I think just a few beautiful decorations for Christmas says so much more than you spent the same amount of money and went to, I'm not going to name the store, but just grab stuff out of the bargain bin.
Yeah.
It's not the same.
No. And along the same lines, fewer areas, but heavily decorated if you want, or medium to heavily decorated. I would rather see the tree, maybe the mantle, and maybe something in the entry that's really done well than little bits of Christmas everywhere, all over your house. Because just like in your normal decorating, it's going to have a lot more impact if you group the things together, and it's going to look really spectacular in those few areas. So particularly if you're pressed for time, you're doing the right thing by only focusing on even just one spot. Maybe it's just the tree, or maybe it's just the table. So you can pick a spot and really do it up well and enjoy that. It's going to look better if you concentrate it.
That's right. And so for my house, I usually do a tree, and then I'll set up a display on the sideboard in my dining room, and I'm kind of done then. So do what works for you. Call it a day.
Before we get rolling, I do want to point out something that I couldn't even believe exists. Have you heard about the Stow and Grow faux Christmas tree? Okay, I think it's from Home Depot, and it was sold out. I will put the link in the show notes to the House Beautiful article where I stumbled upon this. So it is a tree that comes in two pieces. You just put the top onto the middle and the bottom, but when you plug it in, it grows up and out while it's plugged in and stays like that. It gets to its maximum height and width, diameter, I guess, and then it stays like that. And then when you unplug it, it shrinks back down, so you have a smaller tree then in two pieces to then store for the next year.
I'm already on the how could this go wrong? So clearly
well, you're an engineer. You have to do that.
Okay. Yes. Because I'm like, what's the failure point on this item? So apparently it does need an electrical current to stay extended.
Yes.
So what happens if that's turned off? So you can't accidentally unplug it. You can't have a breaker go. What if you have a power outage? So does that mean that then the tree is going to shrink? If you have it covered with ornaments and other stuff, what then is going to happen? Are they going to go flying off of the tree? I'm just not feeling good about this.
I want you on my team always, because you have to know what's coming at you. You have to anticipate the problems. So I don't know, but it sounds like you're onto something with that. But it also is kind of like just wrong in many ways, but hey, I don't know. Check it out. I mean, it definitely made me laugh. So who knows? Maybe someone out there is listening and they have it and it's fantastic. And I hope they have a generator. Let's just say that.
Yeah. Well, even that has about a 40-second delay, but whatever.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And a lot can happen in 40 seconds, as we know.
Yes.
2 Christmas 2023 trends we might want to mention. One you might guess. She's our friend who has a dream house. There's a lot of Barbie decor out there.
Oh, yes.
And I don't think we have to say that we would discourage you. maybe the one Barbie ornament, if you're buying special ornaments for a special little person in your life, they might want a Barbie or a Ken ornament. But going full on Barbie this Christmas is a trend. So lots of pink Christmas going on. And then at the other end of the spectrum, it's neutrals and muted greenery. So no green and red. Everything is very quiet and subtle and sort of mossy and woodlandy, which is beautiful. But I did neutral Christmas several years ago, and I just did golds, and whites and greens, which was really beautiful. But I have to say, it felt more department store-y than I wanted it to. It felt a little cold. I do like the red at Christmas time. So I brought the red back, and my family even noticed, oh, we really like it, the real traditional colors. So that's what I've been doing for the last several years. But I did try. I went into the foray of the quieter colors. It is a beautiful look. So if that's something you want to try this year, there's going to be a lot of things out there to help you do that. And I've got a few on my list. So you want to kick it off?
Well, no, I want to talk about Barbie for a minute.
Oh, okay.
About Barbie core. Yeah. I mean, I remember years ago, my friend Teresa had a Christmas tree in every room of her house. And I believe there was a Barbie tree.
Wow,
way
Teresa.
Back in the day, before that was a thing.
Yeah.
And I don't think I ever saw it in person, so I'm not really sure what was on the tree. But yeah, that's so, it's not a brand new idea, but it hasn't been mass produced until now. But I was just thinking, I mean, I take it, I guess I'm not going to ask this question because I know the answer, but I'm thinking, yeah, that would be interesting to do a Barbie core episode because my Evie would be so down with that. She likes everything pink. And anytime she buys something, I don't have to ask, what color is it? It's pink.
That's so funny. Well, maybe a bonus episode. There is something about pink. It does turn my head as well. Well, let's think about that. Maybe around Valentine's Day, we'll do something like that. So what's your first item?
It's a set of 3 chinoiserie Christmas balls. So these each have a different design. I mean, they look hand-painted. I don't think they really are, but they look that way. So they're white with blue on them, and each one has a different design. They're glass. Although they're glass, they're solid white on the background. They're not see-through. They're not clear. But these are from Ballard Designs, a set of 3 for around $20. And I think if you had blue and white on your tree, just solid blue balls and solid white balls, some of these mixed in would really be beautiful.
I love that idea. And not even being a blue person, I can appreciate doing your holiday decor in colors that are different. If you're living in Florida or someplace super warm, or if you're listening to us from Puerto Rico or any place where it's not going to get cold at all at Christmas time, maybe the traditional red and green just doesn't feel right to you, tartans and red and green and things like that. Maybe you want to do blues and whites and gold, and that could be absolutely beautiful. And the chinoiserie and then maybe the ginger jars, the blue and white could be so beautiful.
I think you're this way too. I don't like being told what to do. And so I don't like the red and green. First off, I just don't think a lot of the red and green things are pretty. It can be done beautifully, but I've seen it done badly so many times.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I just feel like that was kind of shoved down our throats by the marketing people of Coca-Cola, to be honest with you. Just that was the beginning of it. So that's why I just don't like red and green, because I feel like it's just something we were told this is what it has to be. So I really do prefer other colors. And, I like red and white for Christmas, and I like gold and white. Or green and white, but I don't like, or green and gold, but I don't like the red and green together.
Well, if you do like the red and green, I've got a tartan toll cash pot for you.
Nice. Now this sounds good though.
Yes, you would really like this. Cache pot is French for basically planter. Mm-hmm. They usually do not have drainage holes. And the toll is that painted metal. I think you've all probably seen these along the line. You can buy them vintage. I was researching and I saw some on First Dibs and Cherish and places like that for, $500. We're not suggesting you do that unless, you're really into it and that's an antique that you'd like to add to your collection. But these are darling, and they're from Jay's Studio, which is a small brand, and they concentrate on these types of cache pots. They also have pajamas, which is an interesting combo. But it's a great little site. I have mentioned it before. So if you've been listening for a while, you might have visited there. And we'll have all the links to everything we're talking about in the show notes today. And the ones that I picked out for our Christmas episode are a tartan. I think I would use them maybe on a table with maybe a a topiary, like a myrtle or a little olive topiary, or you could put a little boxwood in there. And also those small bright green cypress trees, they always have those at Trader Joe's around Christmas time. And they're kind of, they're shaped like the giant cypress trees you would see in, in Tuscany, but they're tiny and they're that really bright green. I think they would be so sweet in these. So I would probably, if I had a longer table, put two. They're $49 and they come in different sizes. So it starts at $49. So cute, but they have a lot of different ones different patterns that you might like, some solids, and then they have a gold and white stripe. But this tartan is just so darling.
Okay. That's where I changed my tune on the red and green. If it's a tartan, I love tartan. So that sounds really nice. And I love tulle too. I mean, my goodness, that just sounds so gorgeous.
Hey, we'll be right back with the rest of the show, but keep listening so we can continue bringing you DTT. I can't stop using dupe.com. This is an amazing website, service, best friend. I absolutely love it. So you find something that you really want and it's too expensive. It's a budget buster. Then you use dupe.com and you can find almost the exact thing or very similar products for much less. So I was crushing on this incredibly gorgeous coffee table. I had it in my mind. I had it in my Pinterest boards. I had it everywhere, but I just didn't have it in my house because it was too expensive. When I learned about dupe.com, that was the first product that I tested. And boy, did I find some amazing dupes. And I purchased one. So the original was almost $3,000. And Dupe showed me many choices, all the way down to under $200. Now, you may think something this extraordinary is hard to use, but it's so easy. Just type dupe.com / before any product URL in your browser, and boom, it instantly finds you less expensive alternatives. They even have an app and a browser extension you can download. No account required, no sign up required. It's completely free. That's completely free free to use. Stop wasting your money on brand names and start saving with dupe.com today.
My next item is a set of plates. Well, actually, it's not a set. You do buy them individually, but there are several that coordinate. And there's a plate for New York City, London, Rome, Chicago, and Paris. They're sold individually. These are at the store that we've been talking about that I went to, which is Anthropology. They had so many cute things. They're known for unique items, and they did not disappoint in their Christmas offerings this year. So I thought these plates were beautiful. There are just very dark, rich, inky blues and lavenders and other colors that I thought were really beautiful. So I think the artwork on these really came out beautifully. Last year, they did a set of 12 Christmas plates, like the 12 Days of Christmas. And this has the same kind of vibe, the same colors. And I think this is they're just beautiful. So I think these are worth looking into. And certainly Christmas time is a time that we entertain. So that's a nice time to think about adding to your dishes, your dish collection. And if you don't have a dish collection, I don't know why you don't.
If you don't have a dish collection, come sit next to Anita. She'll tell you all about how you can start one.
I might even give you a starter plate and maybe they'll multiply.
Okay, stockings. I love Christmas stockings. I have two for the girls that I don't honestly love that much, but I got them when they were super little and they're kind of cute and they have like teddy bears on them or something like that. And those are theirs and they don't get displayed necessarily. They get filled by Santa still. When is this going to end? The ones that I display are, now this is going back in time for me, pre-Anita. When I had my Etsy store, two friends of mine and I had an Etsy shop, and we made, or I should say she made, and I marketed these beautiful handmade grain sack Christmas stockings made from real grain sacks from France and all of that. And she was an incredible seamstress and just did such a beautiful job with the cuff and the little loop and all of that and getting the stripe in all the right spots. So I have those, and those are so special to me, for not only the history of the grain sack, but, that they came out of this endeavor that I worked on with some friends. So those are my very special grain stack stockings. I looked for very special grain stack stockings to share with all of you, but they've been so mass marketed now over the years. This was back in time when grain stacks were just coming on and it was the real deal and they were coming from Europe. You can find those, but they're very expensive now. So I found a really charming, much lower priced one from a small shop called Milk and Honey Boutique. It's a mom and daughter that run this boutique, and I think it's a brick and mortar in Kentucky somewhere, but they have an online presence. Theirs is not made from a real grain sack. There's no way it possibly could be at $12, but it's adorable. And it's a full-size stocking. It has a red background with some cream-colored striping and then little tassels, which, I just can't resist a tassel, up at the cuff on the stocking. So cute. So I would say it's like in the grain sack style. It's a grain sack type fabric, but it's not a true grain sack.
Sounds wonderful.
I was thinking about, well, how do you display stockings? It's hard sometimes because if someone wants to fill them, they're heavy. Do you do a nail in your mantle or a hook? Probably not. You don't want that. Do you even hang them on your mantle if you're going to light the fire? And then I was thinking a lot of people maybe don't have fireplaces. So an idea, if you want to display some stockings, whether you're going to fill them or not, if you have a console table, and I think it would work better with a table that doesn't have drawers or cabinets, it's sort of an open bottom, you could get a stocking hanger, but that might be awkward. A lot of times they're metal and it just wouldn't work. But if you just put some beautiful ribbon, I know Anita is always a fan of beautiful ribbon, whether it's velvet or maybe a tartan or something like that, and attach that to the loop that's usually on any type of stocking. And then you're probably going to have decor on your console table, or you can purposely put some decor there or stack some decor books so you can weight them down. Now, of course, I wouldn't fill them with heavy things because that might be problematic. But if you're just doing it for the decor aspect of it, I think the ribbon would hold it really nicely, and you can anchor it with your other either holiday decor or your regular decor pieces.
I think that sounds wonderful. I found these gorgeous trees, and these also are at Anthropology. They are made of borosilicate glass, which is a really unique iridescent type of glass. Each tree has a different height, a different color, and a different shape. And the reflective nature of this glass makes them very unique, really beautiful. I think you're going to love them. And I don't think they're sold as a set, so you can buy whichever ones you want. So that's kind of nice. You can choose the styles that you like.
Okay, those sound beautiful. I'll have to check those out. I neglected to mention when I was talking about the stockings, if you're going moody neutrals this year, if you want to get on that trend and not the Barbie trend, Lulu in Georgia, which is a really nice mid-sized company. I've purchased things for clients from them. Very nice quality. They are offering velvet stockings in rust, olive, and oyster at $48 each. And they are cuffed with this really nice sort of ecru colored whip stitch. I love a whip stitch. Really super pretty, very simple, but definitely hitting that trend of the moody neutrals. Another thing that I thought was so fun is this lemon ornament, kind of hearkening back to what we were talking about maybe doing different colors for Christmas if you're living in a warmer area or wherever you are. If you want to do different colors, that's great. But particularly if you're in a warmer area, this lemon ornament is really pretty, and they have lemon, lime, and orange, but there was just something about the shape of the lemon that I loved. It's a glass ornament, sort of a pitted glass, and it's made by this guy named Cody Foster. It's Cody Foster and Co. Now, I saw them offered in a lot of different places for different prices. So I picked an independent online retailer, Pink House Design, and I found this lemon ornament there for $15, which was on the lower end of the prices I was seeing around. And then I was checking out Cody Foster. Do you remember years ago, and I can't remember the name of the guy right now, but it was maybe in the early 90s, and there was this guy who was making Christmas ornaments. Why can't I remember his name? But they were very, very popular. And it was a certain designer of ornaments. And he was making these beautiful glass ornaments.
Radco?
Yes.
Okay.
There you go. And everybody was just hot, hot, hot for those. Well, I'm wondering if Cody Foster is now going to be the 2023 and onward answer to Radco. Fun ornaments from traditional things to then the citrus. But then I even saw one where it was like a little like sandwich board shape. And it said, I know guac is extra, but so am I.
Oh, boy.
So check out Cody Foster if you want to have some interesting Christmas ornaments. We always do that. Since the girls were little, each year they get to pick out a new Christmas ornament. That was always a fun outing, particularly when they were little, and it took hours. You go to the Christmas stores and they'd be picking them out for so long. If that's something that you do, or you want to get some special ornaments for friends or family, Cody Foster & Co.
So the next item I have is a fruit garland.
Oh, we're in the fruit thing.
I know. Well, it's I think really charming, and again, very different. It's not your usual garland where you see the real fluffy greenery. This is very delicate. There are figs on it, and the greenery on here are more like leaves and not evergreen leaves, but kind of deciduous leaves. And they're kind of more toward the chartreusey color. And then you've got the purple of the figs, and then it's got citrus on here. So it's very unique. I think that would really, I don't know, maybe almost look kind of English, kind of vintage English, having that on your mantle. I think it would be very much a conversation starter because it is not what people are expecting to see.
Yeah, and those colors would look great in your house, for sure.
Yes, they would.
Okay, so I'm going to riff off some fruit again. A distressed metal compote bowl. So a compote is kind of on a little pedestal, and this is a really pretty burnished, darker brass color. It's about 8 inches wide and about 5.5 inches tall. Now, I would display vintage ornaments in this, and you're saying, where's she going with the fruit thing? I would also display pears, green pears, and pomegranates in it, or even pomegranates and limes. I think that would be beautiful. And pomegranates are an interesting fruit, like Anita's fig garland. It's just something a little bit different. I wouldn't use apples because apples to me say fall. So pomegranates are that beautiful deep red and, adding a little bit of something organic. And I think they would be absolutely beautiful in this metal compote. It's $34 and it's from A Floral. Now, I love A Floral. That is sort of my go-to for faux stems and things like that. It's all they do. I know a lot of places got into the faux greenery and faux flowers. Pottery Barn, they were all producing that, but A Floral really does it well. Their prices are really good and I think more than competitive. And so while we're talking about them, I will mention they also have Real Touch Norfolk pine branches, and I have purchased these and I'm going to add to my collection of these this year. They're not cheap, but they're made so well. They're $28 a branch, but the branch is 36 inches tall and 10 inches wide. So that's substantial. So you're going to want to put this in a big vase or even something where you could lay them across the table, down the table on either side. And then maybe you do like a long dough bowl or a longer rectangular type of arrangement in the center and cover the stem parts and just have the pine bow part coming out of either end of the table. Absolutely stunning. So those both will be linked in the show notes.
I know we weren't going to do Barbie-core, but I do have one Barbie-core item.
Oh,
it is a pink bubble glass tree topper. So it kind of reminds me of the double and triple gourd lamps. It's a tall piece that goes on the top of your tree. It looks like a stack of pink balls that get smaller as you go up to the top.
Very mid-century.
Yes, yes. And it's not a hot pink. It's not a pastel. It's kind of in between. You know what? It's like Pepto-Bismol. And I say that in the best possible way. It really is very pretty.
How about a beautifully made stoneware menorah? This is absolutely stunning. It's called the Sway, S-W-E-Y menorah. It's about $200. It's from an American ceramic company based in Brooklyn. It holds taper candles. It's 18 inches long, and it's kind of like a ribbon shape. It's so beautiful. So if you're in the market for adding a new menorah, or you want to gift someone a beautiful menorah, this could be a family heirloom. It is absolutely stunning.
How about a beautiful Christmas pillow? Now, when I say Christmas pillow, it is not a red and green pillow with a picture of Santa on it. This is
yay
so the different direction. And this one is, it is Christmas, but I think you could use this well past Christmas. It has a cobalt blue background, and I think there's a deer and there's some flowers. It looks like there's, I don't know, some other kind of bird. There's a bird and flowers. There's pinks, there's reds, there's turquoise, and there's a few little Christmas ornaments here and there, and maybe some snowflakes. But so pretty. There's
a lot going on that pillow.
That's what I'm telling you. There is a lot going on in the pillow. It's embroidered velvet. So this is really something that is going to be incredibly striking.
I have a pillow as well. It's from Rejuvenation. I love Rejuvenation. It's a great company. It's a small, mid-sized company. They do really great work. I mean, the craftsmanship is incredible. And they have a small line of pillow covers. They do some William Morris, and then they do some of their own prints. This is a botanical print pillow cover. It's not necessarily Christmassy, although it definitely gives off the Christmas vibe. You could leave this out all year for sure. They're calling it a dandelion print, but I don't get dandelion from it at all, really, but because dandelion certainly doesn't sound Christmassy. But it's in a ruby red and dark slate, and it is a small flower print with a cream background. The red and the slate definitely reads like a dark mossy green, and it's a block print. I would pair it with a dark green velvet pillow. And the dark green velvet that I thought would work beautifully with it is from Annabelle Blue, which is a shop that was a crush of mine recently, and it's a small online shop. The Rejuvenation pillow cover is $99, and then the Annabelle Blue dark green velvet is a $60 cover. Both of those will be linked in the show notes. And if you're not familiar with either of those companies, I would definitely check those out. Rejuvenation has amazing lighting and hardware, and they have a few brick and mortar stores around the country, but it's a pretty small scale operation, and they even have some vintage. I purchased a vintage flush mount from them for my hallway upstairs, and I have to tell you, every time I walk upstairs, I just say to myself, oh my gosh, I love that so much.
And I think most everything in our house should be something that we look at and say, I just love this. This is so beautiful. Mm-hmm. I think that is something that we need to look to do as much as we can, because you want your home to be a place that makes you happy. This is where you are most of the time, and I think it should be a place that you really enjoy. I found a doormat that I really enjoy too. I think this is just fun, whimsical. It's not fancy, but it brought a smile to my face. So I think this would be a great thing to have at your door. It is, like I said, a doormat, and it is made from coconut fiber core. So it's going to be tough, for use. And it's got a light blue background, and there are figure skaters all over it. And even the dog has ice skates on.
Do you know Mrs. Alice?
I don't.
Oh, you're going to fall down Mrs. Alice's rabbit hole. I'm going to have to pull you out of there. Mrs. Alice is I think she's originally from Australia, but she's out of London. She loves tablescapes. And so she started her tablescape company, I think it was 2019. And she's got a blog. She's got a great Instagram. So you can check her out, Mrs. Alice. She's absolutely stunning as well. But she came up with tablescape in a box, and I think that just went crazy and really put her on the map. She has the most beautiful tablescaping. And You can get so many ideas from all the gorgeous images. I mean, it's very over the top. Maybe don't try this at home. She's got so many things on the table all the time. There would be no room for food. But obviously, she's selling tablescapes. So, it's going to be over the top. It's a little whimsical. It's just absolutely fabulous. I spent a lot of time poking around on her shop, and she's got a lot of holiday and seasonal decor, obviously, concentrated on the Christmas and holiday section. And I found these rattan reindeer. They're a really good size. I could see them on a mantle. I could see them on a larger table mixed in with other things, or on a sideboard. So you get the pair. They're $127 for the pair. You can get them with bows on their necks or not. And the bows are really lovely, kind of like woodsy velvet, brown velvet. But I believe they have other reindeer that have more moss on them. The ones I picked are just rattan. I don't think I would leave them out all year because they're reindeer, unless you lived in a certain area where it made sense. But you could definitely keep them out with the brown bows or sans bows throughout the winter season. Wouldn't be something you necessarily had to put away right after Christmas, whereas the green ones with the red bows have an expiration date of right after Christmas. But definitely check out Mrs. Alice. I think so many of you will love knowing about her, and definitely my friend Anita.
Well, I am going to check her out as soon as we're finished recording. So my next item is a garland. So this is an evergreen garland. And okay, you've seen evergreen garlands before. But if you've seen an evergreen garland before that's a faux, it looks like a faux. It's very fluffy. It just doesn't resemble real greenery from a tree. But this greenery that I'm mentioning actually looks like something from a fir tree. It's much flatter. The needles are really short. The branches are smaller, but it just looks more like a real fir tree that you cut and put on the mantle.
My last thing is from a shop in Hudson, New York. If you've been listening for a while, you might remember that I visited Hudson, New York, which is in the Hudson Valley, upstate New York, for a weekend with some of my friends from high school, which was so much fun. We were there in the summertime, so there was no Christmas decorations, but I can only imagine that this is an enchanted little town at Christmas time. Just picture Hudson, New York with a little dusting of snow on it. It must be absolutely magical. And I have a couple of favorite shops there that I still go and visit online. This shop is called The Quiet Botanist, and their whole mission is to have people slow down and listen. They have limited selection of things, but they're specialized in this chocolate, which is amazing, that's pressed with The Quiet Botanist, and it's got all sorts of magical ingredients in addition to the milk and dark chocolate. So that's something you might want to look at. Could be a great stocking stuffer. But what I'm really recommending is their candles. Now, I did smell these candles when I was there, so I know they're fantastic. And it's the frankincense and oud candle. It's packaged in a beautiful mossy green, clearish container with some gold embossing, and they're from the PF Candle Company, and you can purchase them through The Quiet Botanist online. It's $24. Perfect scent for this time of year.
So my last item is an advent calendar, but not a traditional advent calendar. This is actually a set of 24 ornaments that you can put on your Christmas tree. The roofs lift up because they're little houses. They're super cute little houses, and you can put candies or, some sort of chocolates in there, but you don't have to. I think the fun is of every day going and grabbing one of these charming little houses, because each one is a house and they're all painted very differently, and you take it and put it on the tree. So if you want to get your children away from the sugary treats and just kind of make it more of an activity, they really, I think, just enjoy having something to look forward to every day. And I think the excitement of kind of figuring out which tree is next and putting it on your Christmas tree as an ornament is a really fun activity. Or maybe for you, if you don't want to have all that sugar or chocolate, because I know I love advent calendars, but I'm really trying not to eat chocolate this year. So I thought this is something that I could do. Now, it's more expensive than a traditional advent calendar, but the difference is a traditional advent calendar, you're going to throw away after the holiday. This you're going to keep. You can use it year after year. And I think this is something that would be nice to have, even if your kids outgrow the whole idea of an advent calendar where you're putting one on each day. I think if you just hung these on the tree, it would be so pretty and it would be so nice. So they're blues and pinks and yellows. And again, it's just a very pleasing mixture of colors and just charming little houses.
Fun. We had one of like a gingerbread house where you opened the doors each day of Advent. And man, that was a mommy challenge to not only come up with something every day to put in those little boxes, but also that they were the size that you could put in there. What are we defining today?
Today we are defining gilding, and that is a technique of applying gold leaf to wood for decoration. So this was first used, at least the first documentation of it being used was by Egyptians in Alexandria, Egypt, and they pounded gold really flat into sheets with a round stone or with wooden hammers. And then Greek sculptors used gold leaf in creating the statues of gods such as Athena at the Parthenon or Zeus at the Temple of Olympia. The bare parts of the figure, such as the arms, face, and legs, were made of ivory, and the armor, robes, hair, and weapons they covered with the gold leaf. And around 400 AD, gold leaf began to be applied to letters and borders and figures and manuscripts, and they even started using it in paintings when they had halos of a holy figure. So it's been used for a long, long time, and it's still used today. So, I know people think if they're going to paint something, if they want something gold, they think of painting it with gold paint. But the traditional way is to use gold leaf. And if you want the gold to look like real gold, you want to use gold leaf instead of gold paint. And so the gold leaf you're going to buy in sheets. And the interesting thing is now you don't have to use real gold anymore. So if you're going to buy, I did price it because I thought, what's the difference in price versus the faux gold and the real gold? So if you're using faux gold sheets, it's about 10 cents a sheet, and the sheets are maybe like 4 inches by 4 inches. And then if you want real gold, it's about $2.50 a sheet, $2.50 a sheet. And these are super, super thin sheets of gold. And when you're applying it, the old days, they used to paint red underneath. I don't hear a lot of people talk about painting something red underneath gold leaf, but I know that's what they used to recommend. But you put sizing on top of the area that you want the gold leaf, and then you wait till it's tacky, and then you basically put the gold leaf on top. And the gold leaf is so delicate, you really need to be careful what you touch it with because it kind of sticks to about anything. So it's not the easiest thing to do, but it kind of sticks where the sizing is, and the areas where you don't have sizing, it won't stick. And then you kind of brush off the excess as you're applying it. You brush off the excess, and then it just kind of disappears from the areas where there's no sizing. So it's a really fun thing to do. I love using gold leaf, and that's what it is.
Fun. Definition and a DIY. Good job.
Exactly. So what's your crush?
Super excited about my crush. This company called Bratbox. When I first got an email about it, I thought, Britbox? No, it's Bratbox. So these two German guys came up with this idea of sending artisanal breads around the world. The breads are amazing. They only source their flour from German farmers. They don't use any preservatives. It's free of additives, artificial flavors, and all of that. And they bake it in the traditional way. You can order a box of items. They have things like traditional rye breads. They have sourdoughs. They have soft baked pretzels. So many choices. But it's going to be perfect for over the holidays. My mother-in-law comes. She's German, and she loves to have a bready breakfast all the time. So I know she's going to be going through the rolls and the rye and all of that, and is going to be loving it. And just to have the dinner rolls available, to be able to pull out, thaw out, and then just heat up for our, any special dinners that we'll be having. So I highly recommend it. It seems like a great company, and I will link them in the show notes.
My crush is something practical. No surprise there.
Well, bread is practical.
And bread is practical. I just mean I usually go for the practical thing.
I know, I'm teasing.
I found some plant watering globes. And this is not a new idea. This has been around for a while. But sometimes we are gone for a week at a time. And, that's why I don't have a lot of houseplants, because when I'm gone, they're not taken care of. And so I thought when we went out of town a few months ago, I thought I am going to get some of these watering globes. And so the particular ones I'm going to link to, I link to these because they're oversized. Now, these come in plastic or glass. And normally I prefer glass, but I couldn't find the glass in the large size. And the other thing about it is, you have to be so careful and worry about breaking or chipping them. So the plastic ones, you don't have to be so precious with. And I used these when I was gone, and I have to report they worked beautifully. So you do fill them up, and then, actually you can use them rather than watering your plants. It's just kind of keep those in there, and they keep the soil the right moisture level, because it's a kind of a vacuum that's pulling the water out into the soil as it needs water. But there is a little caveat with everything in life. There's no perfect solution, and you do have to be careful, because if you kind of push this in too hard, it can get a hard piece of soil stuck in there, and it can block the water flow. So you do need to be careful. When I was gone out of town, I did not want anything to go wrong. So, I put 4 or 5 of these in each pot, and everything was fine when I got home. But the other thing I liked about this set is they have some medium-sized and very large size. So you could be gone for a long time, and it should be okay.
Excellent. I love that you're having houseplants. That was not always the case. So good job, Anita.
But that was why, because I was gone so much. Was one of the big problems there. Well, thanks so much for hanging out with us. And remember, we are here to inspire you to create a beautiful home. Until next time.
Want to talk to us? Well, we really want to talk to you. So let's schedule a design consult. Anita and I are here to give you individualized, actionable advice on how to create the beautiful home you want and deserve. It's so easy to schedule a design consult with us. Simply click the link in the show notes or head to decoratingtipsandtricks.com/consult. When we talk to you on the scheduled time, we will be ready with so many great tips, advice, and yes, tricks. So sign up today for a design consult. We can't wait to talk to you.